Jubba do.
Alright folks, today we're talking about The 13th Warrior, a movie that got shoved aside when it came out, misunderstood, mislabeled, and flat out ignored by people who wanted something shinier and louder. And that's a shame, because this thing has guts, real guts. This movie ain't slick, it ain't pretty, it's smoke, steel, and firelight. It's a story told the old way, about men who know who they are, what they owe, and how far they're willing to walk when death's waiting at the end of the road. Antonio Banderas plays Ahmad Ibn Falan, an outsider, educated, thoughtful, completely out of place among a band of Norse warriors who live by blade and blood. And what this movie does right out of the gate, it doesn't turn him into a chosen one or a natural-born killer overnight. He earns every step forward. He listens, he watches, he adapts. That language learning sequence alone is worth the price of admission. No shortcuts, no exposition dumps, just time, patience, and observation. You watch a man go from stranger to brother without a single speech explaining it to you. Now let's talk about the Norsemen themselves. These warriors are honorable, rough-edged, superstitious, loud, and deadly serious when it counts. They joke, they argue, they laugh. But when the drums start beating, they lock in shoulder to shoulder. No panic, no speeches, just resolve. They don't fight because they think they'll win. They fight because standing matters more than surviving. Steel in hand, fate close by, they walk into the dark and don't ask why. And then there's the enemy, the Wendell. These ain't just monsters, these are nightmares with structure. Bear-clad, cannibalistic, faceless in the fog. They don't charge like armies, they swarm. They move like a hive, attack like a force of nature, and vanish just as fast. This is where the movie gets smart. You can't beat them by winning every fight. You can't wear them down. They're like bees. Kill a few and the nest keeps humming. The only way to stop the swarm is to cut out the queen. Break the center and the whole thing collapses. You strike the edges, you only bleed. You cut the heart and the myth concedes. That idea gives the movie weight. This ain't about glory or body counts. It's about understanding what you're up against and accepting what it'll cost to end it. The atmosphere is thick enough to choke on. Fog hangs low, firelight dances off armor. Jerry Goldsmith's score pounds like war drums in your chest. You feel cold watching this movie. You feel tired. Now look, I'm not saying this movie's perfect. You can feel the studio interference. Some scenes feel trimmed a little too tight. But honestly, the roughness works. This story shouldn't feel polished. It should feel like a tale told by survivors who lost half the details and all the friends. And when the final stand comes, wounded warriors, outnumbered, weapons chipped, and arms heavy, the movie earns its ending. These men don't beg, they don't bargain, they stand. When hope runs thin and night draws near, honor speaks louder than fear. That's what sticks with me. That's why this movie lasts. Alright, here's your Jubba 3-point rundown. Honorable warriors, grim myth, and hard-earned courage. Stuff burns, bleeds, and crashes in the dark. Yeah, go see The 13th Warrior. Some legends don't shine, they endure. That's a movie with teeth, folks. One that remembers a time when bravery wasn't flashy. It was necessary.
Sugar rush, then sugar crash, he's feeling sour. But he can't stop reaching for another can. That's just the way of our Jubba man. Forgets his teeth.